paracetamol. Without the fever, if you take a paracetamol, then it's only going to cause you side effects when everything is going on smooth. Only if you have a problem, you need a solution. In the West, women were not treated on par with men. They were brutally abused, and until very recent years, they did not even have voting rights. I don't know if all of you know that or not. Voting rights. They did not even have voting rights. Millions of women had been burned. They were treated like dogs. They were used as objects. They were always treated as amusement articles. And therefore, there was a need for the upsurge of women liberation associations. But in India, right from our gods, Brahma has Saraswati on his tongue. Narayan has Lakshmi in his bosom. And Shiva, I told you, has Shakti as his other half. Where is the need for the Women's Liberation Association if we can follow the ancient Vedic Indian culture? Only if we want to follow and adopt the Western ideals, we always take the worst from all the nations. That's India's best. We always want to take, every nation has its own good and bad. We always have that beautiful idea, concept of taking the worst from all the nations and present the worst of ourselves. When we have everything in ourselves, we don't know to glorify ourselves. That is the weakness of Indians. We have so much in us. We have so much of treasure in us. We Navayugastri, present generation women, Gen Y, what we would prefer to call. We just have our husbands' names after our names, like Vishaka Hari or Meenakshi Srinivasan or Vanita Siddhartha, whatever it is. We just have our husband's name after our name. But you know, our lords had their names after their wives' names. Gauri Shankar, Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram, Janaki Vallabh. That is the truth. Uma Maheshwar, you name him. Radha Krishnan. You name any god. They went a step further. They went a step ahead. They had so much of reverence for women. And we are trying to bring it down more and more and more. So the problem is not only with the other gender, it's with the women also. So it calls for a synthesis of both the gender to behave well so that they would respect us well. Real beauty lies in dignity and decorum and not in ridicule and derision. It is a present generation society which is treating women as just entertainment parts. Where you see any ads, you see any soaps, any television serials, you just go through the newspapers or magazines or journals. Any woman would be just featured as an amusement article. And that is not beauty. Think it's beauty. Real beauty does not come from that. It comes from dignity, rights versus reverence. You always lock up gold in your bureau. You don't do that to stainless steel. That's why generally when women ask that they have not been given the equal rights vis-a-vis the men, I would tell them, you are gold, they are stainless steel. That is why you have less rights and they have more rights. Or whatever you respect more, you lock it up. You carefully preserve it. So there is no question of being ill-treated at all. The more you revere a person, the more you respect a person, the right comes down. No? That's what happens to you. And that's why we have taken up a few stories, a few inspirational stories of ancient, age-old stories maybe, but old is always gold. So inspirational stories of women who have brought about positive change throughout the world by their wisdom, by their will, by their courage, by their noble qualities. And their nobility has crossed all gender, all caste, all creed, and all nation. So we just start with one of the greatest inspirational stories. Shri